What's happening? You turned the cooler off, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you want me to turn it back on?
No, I'm okay. If I start sweating, no, we might have to turn it back on. Okay, are you ready to do a mic check?
Mm-hmm.
Microphone check. Microphone check.
You're
1,
good.
2, check. Okay. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? I know we're late. We're late to a very important date. It says connecting. It's not even connected yet.
You're connected
Hello,
in
Kathleen.
YouTube.
Oh, okay. I see Kathleen Hoovis.
Oh.
I made it. It was touch and go for a while. No, I'm just kidding. I thought I was all ready, and then I didn't have the paint that I needed, so that took the bulk of my time. Is there anybody to say hi to, baby?
Kathleen Hoovis, Made on Maple Lane, Stephanie, and Cheryl Lynn.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let me, look, before I show you guys my desk, let me clean up a little bit. Just a little bit, though, because y'all know I'm always a hot mess. I saw one of my fellow creatives. She was so brave enough to show her space after she was making videos, and I felt vindicated, baby. I am not the only one. I am not alone in my creative chaos. Bipolar, North Carolina.
I'm assuming the weather was crazy. We had just a little spate of weather just a moment ago.
Yeah, just enough to spit water into my shed. I'm going to have to
It was
some foam in
windy
that.
too. That was the crazy thing, was the wind.
Yeah.
It was strong.
I was watching y'all. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it tonight because it was windy.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd lose power or lose the internet, but apparently not yet.
We are here. Does anybody else like flashcards? I collect the weirdest things. Okay. So, if you are new, my name is Royce Hunt Bell. The voice that you hear behind the camera is my husband, David Bell, and together we make up Roycycled Treasures. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know we were late tonight. It's my fault. But we appreciate you guys hanging out.
So let's see.
Bring my energy down, babe, because I'm all hyped up.
Well, you're actually talking very soft.
Am I? Are you sure I'm talking soft?
You really?
Because I feel like I'm yelling.
You're not at all.
Okay.
Because I can. You're going
How
in
do I
waves.
sound to you guys? How do I sound?
You are going in waves.
I'm going in waves.
All right, on Facebook we have Vintage Revival Design Company, Sandra Jean Mata, Lori Stanley Henderson, Karen Smith Macy, Michelle Doherty, Chris Schmidt, Karen Moyer, Debbie Novak, and Vintage Revival said, I saw someone rephrase hot mess to creative chaos.
I like it.
Over on YouTube, in addition to Stephanie, Made on Maple Lane, and Cheryl Lynn, Just Yolanda C., Doris, and grandchildren. That's a great name. Brendan Nogasek, Sue Rosenfield, Rhonda Brown from Weed, California.
Help me, Rhonda,
Where is Weed?
Help me, Rhonda.
I'm curious. Elisa Tomzak, and Yolanda says it sounds good.
Okay, very good.
And thank you all if you were with us on Friday. Oh, Angie Champagne jumped in. Hi, Angie.
Hey, Angie.
If you joined us on Friday, thank you for being there. We appreciate that.
I had fun Friday. I have fun every Friday.
So for those that aren't aware, what is Friday?
So on Fridays, we do live auctions of like fabulous junk on Whatnot. That's what Friday is. Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daytime. I don't know.
I just say
time.
Pacific time. It's just easier. I don't worry about the standard daylight. I don't care.
Pacific Time.
Pacific time.
We're live every Friday, and we're auctioning off, seriously, awesome junk. And upcycled craft stuff, too. Like a lot of the blanks you guys see me use.
The blanks, yeah.
Yeah, like the
not your
stockings.
completeds.
Oh, no, I've saw some of my completeds. No, like the stocking blanks, the mitten blanks, the pumpkin blanks, the pumpkins
Trees.
with the trees.
The houses, acorns.
Mm-hmm. Some of them have the antique ceiling tile. Some of them don't. Yeah. Stuff.
So it's on the app called Whatnot. I think you did share it to Facebook this time.
I know. I finally figured out.
But you can't bid on Facebook.
You cannot bid on Facebook. So if you guys see me live on Friday night on Facebook, you have to hop over to Whatnot if you want to participate in the auction.
And to communicate, because we really don't see the Whatnot or the Facebook comments.
No, we're trying to keep track of a lot. And I had my phone there with Facebook open, but it was just too much.
It really is. It's too much for two people.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. But if you don't want to buy anything, that's fine. Just come, because it's just like you guys right now on YouTube and Facebook. You comment, you ask questions. It's all the same.
Yeah.
So you're not obligated to buy anything. You can just come hang out. But if there's something there you want, you get a chance to.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've started anything over $10.
Very few things. Very few things. Yeah, like the cloches. We started at $15.
Oh, did we start them at $15?
Yeah, those are like, the big one.
Right.
We did, not the smaller one.
But generally it's like 1, 2, 4, maybe 7.
Yeah.
Is the starting bids on stuff.
Yes.
So, Pamela McDowell, how do you get to Whatnot?
You know what, Pamela? I will send you, you know what, do me a favor, Pamela, message me you're on Facebook, and I'll send you a link so that you'll actually get $15 to spend, and you'll get a link to how to get there as well. So
here's the thing, though, with that. You have to be brand new to Whatnot.
Yes.
To use that $15. If you've already signed up for it, you won't.
Yeah, you have to be brand new to Whatnot to get the $15.
Right. But you could spend it anywhere. You don't have to spend it with Royce.
Yeah.
You can literally spend it anywhere.
And Tammy is asking if we ship to Canada. I don't know because the way that the platform works is that we actually create the labels inside of the app. So you know what, Tammy, let me research. I'm not sure, because I know that they just started Whatnot in Canada, but I don't know if we can ship to Canada from here.
I would think we've got a pretty good relationship with them. Mm-hmm. But I imagine it's like any other international shipping. It's
more spendy.
More spendy is a good way to put it.
Yeah, but Whatnot might be able to negotiate for decent rates because of the amount of shipping that they do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you do have to set up your payment information. Somebody said they're scared to do that. It really is. It's pretty simple. I've not heard of anybody having an issue with it. Mm-hmm. My issue with it when I signed up was I signed up to help a friend who I literally work with. Mm-hmm. So I bought something, and he brought it into me, but I still had to pay shipping.
Yeah. So. I mean, if you want to, you can offer pickup, but you kind of have to program it ahead of time. So. And
this was brand new when it just started. Yeah. Flea and Ken are here. Hi, guys.
Hey. So. Yolanda C is doing your job, baby.
Where is Yolanda?
She said, glad you're back. David, let me do your part. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment.
I hadn't gotten there yet, Yolanda, but thank you. I appreciate it. So, please join us. Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. We will not be there in 2 weeks. So we will be this Friday, but not
the following
Friday.
Oh, yeah, because we have Salsa Fest.
And the week after that
we're going to be in Wisconsin.
At Sonnets. So we will be off for 2 weeks there, but this next week we'll be there. Chris Schmidt, I'm very obligated to buy stuff. As soon as I see that bid come up, my brain says bid, bid, bid.
No, you don't have to bid. You can just hang out. Although I do appreciate, Chris, you brought some really cool upcycling supplies, though. So I'll be excited to see what you made.
Debbie Novak says, can she get the link too?
Yes, Debbie. You guys, anybody who, I should have programmed some automation, but if you guys message me, please, on Facebook, I will get you the link.
Vicki Morris says,
have that ready.
If the workspace isn't a hot mess and you're not covered in paint, have you even crafted?
Right? Have you really done anything? That is the question.
So what do we got going before I do my like and subscribe?
Okay, so you guys, we started this hat box together. I got to find my camera. We started this hat box together on Monday mornings live when I revealed all the new Royce Cycle designs, and all we got to was the top. So I want to do the rest of this, but we're not going to just decoupage. We're going to decoupage, but we're also going to do some painting. So my plan is to put pieces of paper around here and then connect it with some textured paint so that we can make some grunge. I guess I'm in the grungy mode because last week, you guys remember we made these tags, right? Our rusty patina tags. And so this week we're going to make a different kind of rusty patina than we made last week. And you guys, if you guys enjoy, so I do a lot with texture, like live here, and I always have a lot of questions, but I do have a texture masterclass at roycycledacademy.com that you guys can take and for those who are here who may have taken the class, and we did call it patina, the patina course, but you guys also know that it ended up being a texture masterclass because my brain just has to teach all the things. And so for any of you guys who are here with us tonight who took the patina course, you guys can give some input about your experience with the course, and maybe somebody who hasn't taken it will get an idea of what to expect from the class. But I teach a lot of ways to make texture.
Everybody just wants my job. You look, guys. First of all, just let me let you understand. I don't get paid. So if you want this job, you are volunteering. Lisa Vancil, I made it. Post retailer links, please.
Oh, yes, we're getting there. Okay, David, go ahead and do your job before
All right, if you're on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up and the bell and subscribe. The bell lets you set up alerts. You can customize your alerts so you don't have to get everything from YouTube. You can just choose the one or two that you want to get alerts for. And the great thing is, if you set it up for just Royce, you only get it on Sundays. It really is the only time it pops up.
Or if we have a special.
If you have a special, because
like
you did this past week.
Yeah, we did a live on Monday.
Yep. If you're on Facebook, we would really appreciate it if you would make a comment, even if it's just to say hi. If you would share this video. And hit one of the emojis. Anyone you want.
I like when you give us emojis.
All right. Well, see, I'm on an old tablet, so I have a choice of 6. That's why I say any.
Okay.
My 6 are angry, crying, surprised, laughing, the caring, hugging heart one, a heart, or a thumbs up. So what is that?
Let's do a hugging
7.
emoji. Let's everybody do a hug emoji tonight.
Okay. But all you Apple users, you got like 8 million you can choose.
We do.
So, just saying. Whoops, I hit the laughing one. I meant to hit the caring one.
You meant to hit the huggy one.
So, Angie Champagne, but it's so rewarding for you, David. Oh, Vicky Valdez Green is on vacation in Alaska.
Ooh. Is it cold right now?
Let's see. If we have any others that we need to address really quick. Yes, please, wherever you're at, put your link if you are a Roycycled retailer, because Royce does not sell papers directly. She sells them to retailers, who in turn sells them to the public. So we want every retailer to put their link in, and they sell other cool stuff too. See, Pamela McDowell did a giant one with a lady hugging a heart.
Oh.
I don't have that option.
I know. That's why you just give everybody the option and they use which one they want.
Yeah. So there you go. We would appreciate it. Let's see. Over on the Facebooks.
Let me do something really quick,
Yes.
babe, so I can start working and then you can finish, okay?
All right.
So you guys, just to give you an idea of what this looked like, it was bright and colorful, like my living room used to be. But we're going to make it grungy. So we're going to make it the exact opposite of what it currently is. I've already painted it white.
We did have a question. Did you do the interior?
No, I didn't. This is what it was. It was this really bright, colorful box, which honestly, it lived in my living room at one point. Like I had orange curtains and I had a brown couch with like red and green pillows. And anyways, my best friend, when I told her what I was going to do, she was just looking at me like, that's a lot of color, Royce. It was beautiful. But that was a long time ago. So we're going to make this fit in my current living room. So we're going to make it industrial. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I already decoupaged the top of the lid. And I was kind of figuring out what I want to do. Like, do I want to tape it and then just pretend like it's one thing? Or do I want to do it separately? And I think I'm going to do it kind of separate. I think we're going to work on the bottom together tonight.
Man, I'm taking shots from all sides.
Shots fired.
Yolanda, See, David did us Android users wrong. We got emojis too, but she's on YouTube. I got a bunch of different crazy emojis on YouTube too. I'm looking at my Facebook on my old
tablet.
Flintstones tablet here.
Yeah, you should hear the ladies in my membership are always advocating for you to get a new tablet. We are going to get David a new tablet, you guys. You guys, I love this. I know I shouldn't say I love my own designs, but I really did love creating this design. And when I got it in person, I loved it even more.
Oh, somebody, yes, Yolanda said, love the daily crafts with the new papers.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get back to my schedule. Y'all, I'm tired. I said I was going to, like, post every single day. I do have more videos to post. So there will be more coming next week of the daily post on YouTube with the rest of the new Royce Cycle Decoupage paper. But tonight we're going to finish with this one. I just love Together We Create. I want to make sure that that makes it on my box. So if I put it up too high, my lid is going to cover it. So I think I'm going to move it down just a wee bit to make sure that even when my lid is on there, that this part shows. And so I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And then we can get started. So I'm going to run my finger just along this bottom and make a crease in my paper so I know where to trim. I'm working on another project, you guys, which hopefully I'll be able to announce soon. And I need to make a video for that. I might do it tonight after we get done, because I did promise him I have it done by the end of the weekend.
All right, I found a couple of new emojis on my tablet.
Oh, David found some new emojis.
I found a couple. Not a ton. I found a couple. So I put up a baguette.
A baguette?
Well, we're going to have some. I bought some for dinner tonight.
Oh, you did. David's cooking dinner tonight, you guys. He's so nice to me.
Celestine says, is that new?
Yes, this is one of the new designs. This is Together We Create, or Create Together. My poor people. Dylan transposed the name on the label. I need to hit him up about that. So he caused a little bit of confusion. But Together We Create, that's what we're going to say the name of the paper is. And this is, I haven't done like a grungy industrial design in a while. So this is for my industrial folks. I got you. So this design is one of the ones. And I'm excited because I have another one coming out for the next launch that I've already started working on. I remember when I did my first design that was just texture, I didn't see any of those designs. But now I'm seeing more and more designs come out that are texture. And it's because visual texture is so easy to add to a project.
Thank you to Just Yolanda C for a super chat.
Thank you.
We appreciate those so much.
You know what we're going to do with those super chats, baby? We're going to put them in your, we're going to make a fund, y'all, for David's tablet. A David's tablet fund. So any super chats or on Facebook, what are they called on Facebook?
Oh, it's a $2 emoji.
Oh.
You can buy more for your old tablet. I'm not going to invest in this tablet.
I know. We're going to get David a new tablet.
Sheila Teagan, I got your new papers. When I'm finished hoarding them, I'll start using them.
Use them. Do it.
Lisa Vansil, I hoard them too, like Fort Knox.
You guys, I don't want my edges to be super straight. I'm not worried about the top or bottom edge because those are going to be like, you know, we're going to end up trimming those off. But I'm going to be like painting over my edges and kind of integrating this into my paint. And so one of the things that you can do to do that easier is to create like really abstract came to my mind first. Organic.
Vicky Moore.
Really organic edge here. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Sorry about that.
No, you're okay.
Vicky Moore, I love those gears. I keep seeing them on a wood Christmas tree form.
Ooh.
And Dorothy Lage, these are my favorite colors. They are in my limited palette.
Oh, are you doing a limited palette exercise, Dorothy? It's a really good way when you're like to kind of exercise creatively, right? I'm not good with the limited palette, but I understand the premise. I do. Dorothy is not in my class, but we're both taking the same creative course. I was excited to see that you're in there, Dorothy. I'm always taking classes to kind of expand my knowledge. So I just took my brush. I'm sorry, I didn't explain what I was doing. Took my brush. I just put regular water on it, and I drew a line with the water. And what happens, it weakens the paper right on that line, so you can kind of get an organic edge and still control exactly where that paper tears. So,
Lisa Vancil says texturizing.
yes, I will be using texture today.
Okay. Dorothy Lage, trying to decide how to incorporate these colors into my exterior house colors.
Ooh.
And Madonna Frazee Rap, I too have a collection in pristine condition, but I'm starting to use the papers. See, that's why, let me tell you what we do in the action figure world.
What?
You buy two. One
for
stays
collection?
mint in box, the other gets opened.
Oh, that's
for
how
display.
It works. I don't even think I'll have to paint. We'll see. Let's see what happens.
Carol Kincaid says, I can't join the live for some reason, but you're here. But Carol, if you're having an issue, go to YouTube. You can jump over there. Mm-hmm. Dorothy Lage, fodder was always food for cattle, never an art collage term.
You know, it's interesting. I remember in Colorado, I was talking about my big plans because remember at that point the warehouse hadn't launched yet. And Lynn looked at me with the most sympathetic look, and she's just like, she gave me a necklace with a rabbit on it, and she said it's because I'm living on rabbit fodder. Yes, she would be correct. I cannot find my little container.
Well, I'm just taking it.
Are you taking it?
It's beat up on Dave over on YouTube.
Oh, you
Lisa
guys be nice to
Tomzak's
my
giving
husband.
hints for tablets. And, yeah.
Giving what
I'm
for
with
tablets?
you. I'm with you, people. I don't mind.
I don't have my... Okay, let me do this real quick. One of the reasons I love these containers is so they're so easy to clean out. So I'm just going to clean this one really quickly because there's barely anything in there.
I know we're all reacting to Carol Kincaid typing in that she can't join the live. Maybe she's able to communicate but can't see, like it's not starting.
Maybe.
Remember, I had that problem with my tablet, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
So I understand. If that's the case, just jump over to YouTube, Carol.
To the YouTubes.
So let's see, what else can we talk about?
So you guys, I'm just pulling, this is some old gel medium that I had in here, and because nothing sticks to the silicone, I'm able to pull it out. And you guys, I am so fired. Look, I'm firing myself already and I haven't even started because I get so many requests asking me if stuff is in my Amazon shop, and I am so terrible about putting it on there. So these cups though are in my Amazon shop, and they have lids too. So you can, like, you guys know how it is when you're working and you have something and you don't want to waste it. You can just put your lid on there and it will keep for like 2 or 3 weeks before it dries out. And so I'm just cleaning out some gel medium that we were using inside of our membership. We're doing faux encaustic inside of our membership. And so I have stuff mixed in this gel and I don't want to have it on my project. So I'm kind of trying to clean all this out.
That's what I wanted to mention. Membership still gets the lower price on the...
They get the lowest price.
Lowest price on the retreat for next year.
Yes.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is, A, you want to be in the membership, because now the membership is live all the time.
We're live every week. I'm live every week, at least once a week. And then on the last week, it's twice because we have like a coffee and chat on Saturday morning. In addition to the 4 classes that we do.
So there's that. But it's the retreat, and I just want to let everybody know the retreat is surprisingly filling fast.
I'm very happy with our numbers right now.
I'm surprised because it's so far out.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's filling up that quickly, and there is a limit because of fire restriction. There's just a limit.
Well, and I want everybody... So there's a limit for a couple of reasons. Yes, for fire restrictions.
Yep.
But 1, because I want everyone to be physically comfortable in the space.
Right.
Right. And 2, because I want to be able to have an intimate event where I'm able to engage with everybody. And I don't want it to be so large. Because if we would have used both sides of the space, we could have doubled that.
Oh, yeah, easy.
But we're only going to use one half of the space.
The other half will be used for food.
Yes. Yeah, for food and you know, stuff.
Yeah.
And I want it to be an intimate event. I want to be able to engage with everybody who's there. I don't want anybody to feel like they came and they were just a number in a room. So.
Right. So I bring that up that if you're going to go to the retreat, I really recommend jumping in now to ensure you got space.
And we were able to negotiate. I probably shouldn't say this out loud. I was told not to say anything, but you guys won't tell, were you? No. We were able to negotiate with the motel for rates for the rooms. So we sent the information out to membership this week. We'll be sending it out to general public this coming up week so that you guys can book your room. And the price is for any room.
Yeah.
So whether it's a single, a double, suite, it's all the same price. So I know Kathy has already booked her rooms. She is ready.
Yeah, Flea says she's just about to book hers too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, that's the wonderful part about doing business with locals. You were able to just go to the hotel manager and say, hey, what do we do? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And I did the same for my event. And our manager here for this particular motel is great. Martine is just fantastic. Colleen, stay with Royce and David. You're going to be sleeping in the shed, Colleen, because we don't have any room.
And now that we're doing the auctions, it's worse. Yeah. My poor husband.
So anyway, I bring all that up, that if you want the lowest price, get in the membership.
Yes.
It's still early bird pricing, but that's going to change pretty rapidly.
If we haven't, I don't know if we're going to have any seats left by the time early, based on.
I don't think so
how
either.
Many seats have sold already. I am so excited, you guys. Somebody asked me if I knew exactly what we're going to do. I'm like, do you not know me? I already changed my mind 3 times about what we're going to do. But I've already bought supplies, though. I have an idea. Just the specifics I've changed my mind on. But there's going to be an exclusive decoupage paper at the event, and there'll also be an exclusive stencil. So I'm excited. I'm like legitimately excited to host you guys. And another reason why we had it here, because I know a lot of people were like, it'd be easier if you had it in Tucson or Phoenix, but I have relationships here, right? So I'm able to give you guys, like, hopefully what you guys will have is a beautiful experience. And able to keep my costs down, because if we had it in the city, the tickets would be at least $850.
Oh, at least
minimum.
Yeah.
And so, by having it here in my local community, it's going to make a big difference in the experience that you guys have at the retreat, because we have so many relationships. Martine is so funny. So when David first came here, you guys, he was my boyfriend. Oh, that's Royce's boyfriend. Oh, that's Royce's boyfriend. Oh, that's Royce's husband. But I have been kind of not peopling for a couple of years and staying home. So now I'm David's wife. It's flip-flopped. So Martine says, oh, yeah, I know David. And, you're on the board for the chamber. So, you know David. Wow.
Martine and I are on the tourism committee together.
I know.
I recruited him. I wanted him on that committee.
Yeah.
Dorothy Lage, I have a wedding in April 2024. They better not change that date.
Oh.
I'm with you. And Kathleen Hoover says, what are the holes in the box? Was it handles?
It's a string. It's like a really pretty yellow string that goes on both sides that act as a handle. So I'm probably going to replace that with something else. Probably some grungy wire.
And Dorothy also said her friend Linda is in Norway. And she already signed up when she was on vacation.
Oh, wow.
So that's great. Let's see. Yeah, Dorothy, my husband Sam was always Mr. Dot.
Mr. Dot?
Yeah. Oh, I used to say I'm Mr. Hunt.
Oh, yeah, that was a running joke when we were going to get married.
Yeah, because you're Royce's fella.
Because he doesn't like the term boyfriend.
No, I'm the one who said don't change your name when we got married.
Oh, no, I said you don't like the term boyfriend.
Oh, I didn't care. I was in my 50s when we started dating. I didn't think I was still a boy, but... But yeah, so anyway, I bring that up because I just don't want people to miss out if they... Now, Lisa said she's saving her cash. I get that, too. We all get that.
And I believe that there's an option on there that you guys can make payments. They're going to charge you an extra fee to make payments, but you can split it up into 3 payments.
And that's because of the processing you're
Yeah,
using.
that's through Stripe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a you thing. That's the payment processor.
Yeah. So Stripe does offer an opportunity for you to make 3 payments.
Yeah. But it's going to be fun. All the food will be local.
Yeah, and your breakfast and lunch will be included. Breakfast, snacks, lunch will all be included, so you'll only be responsible for dinner. And we're going to be having a community event that same weekend, our spring festival. So there are food vendors that'll be up the street and live music in the evenings. I got to sit Vance down and negotiate for us to get our own tent on the lawn.
Yeah?
I mean, people can sit in there during the day. It's just that in the evening when we get there, you got to go.
Colleen.
So we can have like our own little lounge.
Yeah. Colleen says, Lisa Vansel, maybe we can share a tent in Royce and David's yard. You assume there's room in the yard.
My shed takes all of the yard.
Oh, yeah, not just the shed.
Oh, I know.
All the other stuff, too.
I don't have that much stuff anymore.
Not in the front.
No, not in the front, in the back.
In the back, it's full. Yeah, so that's all. That's the reason why I bring it up. So the membership is the really way to go to get the big discount, the deep discount.
Yeah. And then the membership is fun too, because we're learning new stuff all the time.
Yep.
And of course, my premise for the membership is to teach the basics of art and design, but I quickly learned that everybody else didn't necessarily want that, so I just sneak it in with projects every month.
Deb Highland, bunk beds on the shed roof.
Oh, Lord. I know Colleen just got back from Georgia. Colleen, I want to hear, did you have a marvelous time? I heard you guys learned really, really cool stuff. That's the word on the street. Baby, I'm sweating.
All right, I'll turn it on.
I mean, and it may not be warm in here. It may be me, but
I was going to say it's going to warm up. I can feel that, but I thought it was going to take a little while longer.
yeah.
But I understand your
You
furnace.
thought I was going to take a little longer to warm up?
No, I thought the room would.
Oh.
But your furnace operates on a different schedule.
So I am just, you guys know what I did? I did not start. I don't think my paper was, well, it's not too bad because it's skewing off. You see that? That white mark that's coming up there? It's because I think I started out with my paper a little bit tilted, and so the further away I get from the beginning, the more it's skewing off, but that's not a big deal. I'll just put some paint right there and no one will ever know. They'll never know.
Colleen says, yes, we did with Vasilis Kantos from Greece.
Yeah, he flew
Or
in
Vasily.
for that.
I guess that would be Vasily, right?
Sure. Maybe I don't know. But yes, probably more than likely. I gotta make sure I don't put my other paper down on the other side because I don't want it sticking to my table. Whenever I would talk about policies in the job, in the workplace, I'd always use things like this for an example. You know, you start out right here with like a little white lie or something, but then as you get further and further away, the bigger and bigger the issue becomes. I just think this is a perfect visual of how that happens. Okay, I'm gonna dry this really quickly, you guys, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. And I can always paint over my paper too, if I wanted to. But let's get this dried. Oh, Lord. And I brought all kind of paints with me in case I have to do any shifting of colors, because I wasn't sure. I pulled out Wise Owl's Botanical because I felt like this matches the paper the closest. Although there is a new green. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show it yet, so I didn't pull it out. But this is the green I pulled out, and I felt like it was the closest, right? As far as tone. And if I needed to like modify it, I can. So I brought out my acrylic paints to be able to do that. And those of you who took my crafting in color class, you guys know how we do that.
So Colleen said, Royce, you would have loved it. Layers and layers of different mediums.
Oh.
Let's see. Wendy Reese Purdy. I'm excited. Booked for the retreat.
Yay!
She lives in New York, but have several family events in Utah in April. So getting our cabin on our land in April too. So a multi-purpose trip.
Oh, nice. Make it worth the trek over here to the West Coast, huh?
Oh, Lisa Vancil. I'm on Lisa's side. My boss is driving me crazy. I have to be the one doing negative write-up, not him.
Oh.
I've had that too. When you're that middle.
You know what though? I always felt like, so I was a director of our nonprofit, and this was my philosophy on it. I always wanted line staff to be comfortable coming to management, right? So to me, it was easier for me to be the bad guy and for them to be the advocates. To me, that made more sense. And so that was my job, was to be the bad guy, because I didn't think it was as important that they like me as it is for them to like their direct supervisors. That's just my theory on that, Lisa. I mean, corrective actions, yes, you correct your staff because I don't want to undermine their authority, but when it came down to like doing write-ups and stuff, I would do those. So that way I could be the bad guy. And then the manager can say, well, Roy said this is the rule, you know what I'm saying? So they get to maintain relationships. And I think that's from years of being in middle management with the state is why I did it that way. Isn't that green so pretty? I chose green for this because you guys know usually I'll do like a teal with these designs. But green is such a popular color right now that I felt like this would be a good choice. And there is so much yummy visual texture in this paper, even aside from the gears. Which I feel like on this side, we should cut out some gears and lay them on here and then do some texture in the middle. What do you guys think?
Somebody asked if DeMar was here. I apologize.
No, not tonight.
Yep, he's with Dad. He's with his little sister. He's struggling with that concept.
What? His sister?
You're her big brother.
Oh, I know.
She's your little sister. No, I'm DeMar.
Oh, I know. Yes. Well, baby, that's part of the deal, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I get it.
His processes are very linear in nature.
Correct, I understand. So we're just working through that.
And then he looks at you so concerned, like, are you confused? Like, I'm DeMar.
So now I'm trying to ask him to teach her things.
I'm going to set this aside out of the way so we can see what I'm doing here. Let me find a safe place to put this. I'm going to fussy cut out some of these gears, or even bunches of gears, right?
Karen Macy likes that idea. Kathleen Hoover says yes to the gears. Gert Grenzer says hello from Florida.
Hello. Oh, wow. Another Grenzer.
Not Grenzer, Gurenzer.
Oh, Gurenzer. Okay. Because I never heard that name before Lexi. And so I was like, oh, another Grenzer.
G-E-R-E-N-S-E-R.
Oh, okay. Somebody on YouTube asked me, what's fussy cutting? And I went to go answer, and I really couldn't articulate it. Cutting around stuff really close. I don't know. And you guys know I have my fussy cutting scissors because my hands are not always at their best. A day like today, we have a lot of cloud coverage today. So I'm sure the barometric pressure is up and I can feel it in my hands, but using these scissors still allows me to be able to fussy cut, even when my hands are a little stiff. And it's because they rest, like in here. I'm not having to, like, you know, control them from there. So my larger muscle group is in charge right now. And you guys will notice that I'm moving the paper, not my hands, right? And I don't know why I enjoy fussy cutting. If you guys weren't here, I'd probably be doing it a lot closer. I'm just trying to be fast right now. I love fussy cutting, but I do not have the patience for sewing. I just think that's hilarious. Hilarious. And I think I'm just going to do it like this, because it's, I mean, you know, right, it goes like this, theoretically, but I think I'm going to put the straight edge on the top and then have these gears coming down this way.
Dorothy Lage, he's Damar, she's his little sister for now, then he can get big brother later. He's struggling even with little sister. It's just a concept that's foreign to him at the moment.
Yeah.
He'll get there.
He'll get it.
Celestine Todd, yes, I love that paper. I need to find a retailer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
We have several retailers in Texas.
Oh, the one she used was miles away, but it was okay. However, she's moved.
Oh.
And she doesn't mind driving because she hates to wait.
Well, if you have a shop in your area, you can tell them about Roycycled and maybe they'll become a retailer. So let's cut out some of these larger ones too. I think these will be fun. And I'm using 2 pieces of paper, you guys see, because this one still has that portion on there. And there are little screws over here on the side too.
Sheila Teagan, if we could only exchange our hands for new ones.
Oh, I know.
Karen Macy.
My hands, my knees. Sorry.
Karen Macy, I never thought about the barometric pressure giving me hand pain.
Well, it's any joint pain, right?
Yeah.
Your body just feels it because our joints are full of liquid fluid. So.
Well, she said when it was low, she would get headaches.
Oh, I know that it does affect migraines too.
So, but yes, and Pickett's Craft says need some new papers. So again, just say for anybody that new that's come on, if you're a retailer, put your links.
Yes. Put your link so customers can find you. That's probably, out of all the messages I get, that is probably the most common, is where can I find the papers? And I'm doing a rough fussy cut. I really just want the edge to be the same shape as the teeth, but not necessarily be perfect, because we're going to be going over the edge of this with texture. So it will be marvelous.
Dorothy says, isn't it easier to blend if you decal or tear the edges rather than fussy cut?
It is, Dorothy, but because of the nature of the gears, I don't necessarily need them to blend perfectly. So as long as I have the shape, if that shape shows through, it's going to be fine, right? It's still going to communicate the idea that there are gears there. So, and then decaling these teeth would just be a pain in the tushy. So I'm opting for this approach. But yeah, the other edges that I wanted to blend, I did use the wet brush method. But on these, I'm going to do this one. Because you think about how hard gears are. I suppose I could have had this done before, but I spent the bulk of my day in the warehouse. So retailers, if you ordered on Friday, your order will go out tomorrow because we spent the entire day filling orders today. I mean, if you ordered last week, because some people ordered before Friday, but. So if you have a retailer and they don't have the new designs yet, be patient. They'll have them soon next week. Be patient, be patient. Don't be in such a hurry. Damar hates when I sing that song.
He doesn't like singing unless he's doing it.
I know, loudly. But he on that one though, he just tells me, no, Grandma.
So, yeah. Dorothy says, I love your tip on the postage stamps to use a hole punch.
That was Michelle Adamus's tip, to use the hole punch, which I think is a fabulous idea.
Would that technique work with the gears is what Dorothy wants to know.
Oh, yeah, that would work with the gears, huh? With the stamps though, I'm gonna be using my pinking shears. You know, the zigzaggy shears, to cut those out, which will be on a video. I bought some canvases, you guys. I'm gonna do a busted canvas. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing it, but I have a bit of a take on the busted canvas. I'm gonna add something. So that video will be coming out on YouTube next week. I wanna add another element to it. But I'll be showing you guys how I'm gonna cut out those postage stamps with my zigzaggy scissors. Zigzaggy scissors, blah, blah, blah. Say that really fast, 5 times. Not that it'll matter on that project, because you guys won't be able to see it anyways, but we'll still talk about it. Because I envision like a trunk or something with like several stamps on there. That would be so fun. Especially if you're going to use it during the holidays. Oh my goodness. I would like to abandon this, but I cannot because my brain has seen it now, so I have to finish it. The story of my life. So fall is upon us, and I don't know how it is for you guys in the fall, but here in Arizona, we start having all the events in fall. I would love to hear what events you guys are looking forward to.
Well, Yolanda said she lost her vendor too.
Her what?
Her vendor.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of shops that are, you know, closing up shop. But there are still a lot of options that are available though. You're awfully quiet. Are you watching an auction over there?
No, I am not. Just there's not a lot of questions or anything.
No. Probably because
Wendy Purdy found a cabinet door while thrifting on a trip.
Ooh, cabinet doors are so wonderful because they're already like, you know, the edges are already finished. So you can just like paint out the inset and it's like a canvas. I have a stack of cabinet doors still on my porch. Those aren't the ones that Vance brought me though. I actually found some more at the thrift store. So if you see cabinets at the cabinet doors at the thrift store or yard sale, you guys snag them. Okay, so we're going to do these 2 sets of gears and that's it, and we'll paint in between these to fill in the rest. And I could just decoupage it, but
Piglet's Closet said, love this entire release. You knocked it out of the park.
thank you. You guys know every time I do a release, I'm like nervous, right? Are people gonna like it? And there were a lot of neutrals in this release, so I wasn't sure how people would feel about that. But I do feel like when things are tight, that the neutrals are more versatile. And so it's always nice to buy a design knowing that you're gonna be able to use it in a lot more ways. because it's not like super bright.
Yeah, Colleen, 100%. It's really tough on small businesses because of the Chinese online. They steal artwork and sell it cheap.
Yeah. We've been talking to...
You haven't yet, right? You talked to what, Fiona?
I talked to Fiona about it.
I talked directly to our congressman about this issue.
Well, that was his assistant that I spoke to.
Right, but
yeah.
I'm saying I talked directly to him.
Yes.
So, and he said he's going to look into it. Whether or not anything comes of it, you never know. But
we should put the pressure on now.
But it's still nice to have somebody paying attention.
Yeah, but it's a conversation though, because my problem is I need to get the people who are actually impacted to say something, right? Because they're not copying my work. So it's hearsay. It needs to be coming from the companies who are actually being impacted directly. So I'm just going to, that one will be perfect right there, right?
Sheila Teagan, I refused to order from them. I will admit, I did it before Royce was like, you know, you're ordering from China. It came up on a Facebook ad, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I can order.
Yeah,
something.
And it's not even that it's from China. If they were an honest company that wasn't pirating, you know what I'm saying, products from other companies, I wouldn't have an issue. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
They do.
They're literally stealing from other people. Directly, not even like similar work, like exactly the same stuff. And because they're, you know, not here, there's not a whole lot that can be done. But when I saw them advertise on Super Bowl, I was mad, which David unfortunately got to hear about.
Yeah.
Now you guys see what having that edge does, right? That just makes it so much better than if it were just a straight edge. And let me see, how am I going to lay this one? I might have to put something in the middle of these two. I'm going to cut this one out. Dag nabbit. Which means more fussy cutting. Or maybe I should do this one. I just want my layout to make sense.
Well, Cindy Crowder just jumped on after finishing making dinner. What did she miss?
Hey, Cindy. We're decoupaging a hat box. And this is the largest. I have a stack of hat boxes, and this is the biggest one. But the other two I actually worked on about 2 years ago on the Wise Owl page. And we painted them to look like old metal boxes. Okay. So I kind of want the edges to overlap. If I put that one there, and then I can put this one down here, and then I can paint in between those. I think that's going to be perfect. And I'm sorry if I'm getting out of the camera, you guys. I'm trying hard to stay in frame, but this thing is big. I'm being super generous with my varnish. This is just a water-based varnish that I'm using. And I'm gonna mist my paper so I don't have to fight wrinkles as much. Ooh, you know what, baby? I can use this paper when I do my piece for the Colors of Copper art show.
Okay. So we have a an art show in our region. We don't have a gallery, but our neighboring county likes to put on an art show once a year. They call it the Colors of Copper. We have the world's largest North America's
largest
open pit copper mine in the neighboring county. And in our county, we have a copper mine that produces basically the same amount.
Yeah, even though it's
This
a lot
area is the
smaller.
#1 copper producer in the world.
Oh, really? Even bigger than Peru?
Indonesia is really,
Oh.
really close too. But they've been shut down over safety issues a couple times.
Yeah.
So this area has been producing much of the copper. So the neighboring county, which basically gets all its money from copper,
Yes.
did an art 10 years ago. They did an art show called The Colors of Copper, and any art piece, it can be any type of art, but it has to incorporate copper in the theme somehow.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be the color, but it has to be in there somewhere. So some people have actually used copper in the art, the physical mineral. Some people have used the color. Some people have, and this year they're doing
Some
poetry.
people have put a bunch of trash on a board and won.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Royce is thinking about entering this year.
I am. The hardest thing is going to be constructing the paper mache. So that's going to be my biggest challenge over the next few weeks, because to your point, we have Salsa Fest coming up, and we have a trip to Appleton, Wisconsin to go see Sonnets. Remind me to order paper. Oh man, I flew too close to the sun, y'all. I tore my paper. Let's see if I can repair that. Oh, that'll be fine.
Oh, Kathleen Hoovis. All right. So everybody's talking about China, and
Yeah.
it's the Wild West on the Pacific Rim right now.
Is it the Wild Wild West?
Yeah, Sheila Teagan, how are they going to stop it? China stealing intellectual property. So many congressional leaders are afraid to do anything about it. True, Timu is throwing a lot of money around.
I know, but like, if you guys say you support American businesses, then do so. Do it.
Yeah. She sees crafters that she really enjoys, and showing what they've ordered from Timu, she cringes. But Kathleen Hoovis, this is a big discussion in the diamond painting groups.
Oh.
It's tough because almost all of the drills, diamonds, are made in China. So even if you buy American, the product is made in China. Flea, I don't care where the companies are located. My problem is companies stealing ideas.
Yeah, so that's my whole thing. Like, to me, the issue is not like, if free trade is free trade, right? But if they're just not operating ethically is my issue.
Dorothy Lage, can you submit a piece? Absolutely.
Yeah, Dorothy, I'll send you the link.
They've had artists submit from France, from Spain, from Brazil.
Yeah.
It is a cash prize.
What is the cash?
It's, I think, $1,000 for the winner.
Oh, okay.
It's a juried art competition, but the rule is it has to be for sale.
Yes.
So if anybody buys it, they take 30%. Much like a gallery does.
Yeah.
You know.
Or like, even if you were like in a booth space.
Colleen says, can you show us your side?
I'm going to show you in just a second, Colleen. Let me dry it, and then I'm going to show you guys. I just want to get it dry because I don't want to touch it on the table, messing around, and then have issues.
So there's 2 places. I'm going to put a comment in. There's 2 places you can go to find the link if anybody wants to submit a piece. And collage is art.
Yes, absolutely.
And even though we're calling it decoupage, in the fine art world, darling, it's collage.
It's collage. So this is my side. So you guys can see how I have the gear here. And in those white spaces, I'm going to go in with some textured paint to fill in those spaces around this paper. And I kind of wanted to demonstrate that you don't have to necessarily cover a whole piece, that you can use pieces and paint to create a finish on a piece.
So I put up 2 things. Just the Colors of Copper is the art show. The link to submit is in the story about the Colors of Copper art show on my website, GilaValleyCentral.net.
Oh, okay. Very good, baby. I really got to get my biggest challenge is going to be getting that paper mache piece built.
And there is a deadline to submit.
October 11th. I remember. So this top doesn't have a ton to trim, which is probably what the mistake I made. I didn't give myself enough margin of error, but it's okay because we can use paint, right? To kind of fill in that. It's barely a little bit.
All right, we've got a couple of questions on the YouTubes.
Yes.
Verla McDonald, I think, came in a little bit late. Yes, she did. She said, is that a hat box?
Yes, this is a hat box. And we are just taking it from pretty and colorful to grungy.
Susan Glazer just got back from going out to dinner with her husband. She forgot what time it was, but she says she loves the paper.
Thank you.
And Jennifer Lambert says, do you ever teach live classes locally? Do you mean in where we live, or do you mean travel to places to teach a class? So that's my question to you before Royce answers.
Oh, okay. Then I will wait to answer. So I'm going to set this aside for just a second while we mix together some paint. I'm thinking that because we have so much green in here that usually I would start with the black paint, but I think I'm going to break the rules. And we're going to start with green. And I have a color called, don't pay attention to the lid, it looks blue, Botanical by Wise Owl. Oh man, I don't have a dish. I actually need a plate because I want to mix together a couple of colors. Oh, good night, Royce.
It is 6:07.
No. How much do you love me, babe?
You can go a little late.
You know, let me go see if I can find a plate. I'll be right back, you guys.
Oh, do you need me to run in and get one?
No, I think I have some on this back shelf over
Because I don't
here.
mind. Jennifer Lambert says, in Arizona, up in the Phoenix area. And I'm assuming that's what you mean when you say up in the valley, because we live in a valley too. It's called the Gila Valley.
Yeah, we live south of you guys.
Yep. So, Ray's MM2, what is your name on Whatnot? Could not find you. It's Roy Cycled.
Yeah, Roy Cycled 15. 1-5.
So, do you ever teach up in the Phoenix area?
I do not teach in the Phoenix area. Honestly, I used to do classes here in Safford, and I would have more people from out of area come to the classes than we had people who lived here. But it doesn't make sense for me fiscally, because when I have my online classes, I have like a minimum of 100 people, and locally I'll have like 12, and it's the same amount of work. And you know, when you live in a small rural area, people are really industrious and they're just not going to pay to learn a class. So like literally, even the last class we did at the Spring Festival, Dorothy came, she and her husband came, right. Beverly came from Tucson, yep. Melissa came from up north, you know what I'm saying?
Flagstaff, yeah.
Yeah, we had people from all across the state who came, and they outnumbered our locals.
So a class in Phoenix would probably do better than a class here.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
That is fair.
But the reality is, to make it cost effective, it would really have to be overcharged compared to an online course.
Or somebody would have to be able to gather together enough people to make it.
But then you're in the same boat. If I want a live class and there's 100 people there, they're not getting the one-on-one that you like to give.
This is true. If you come to the retreat, though.
Yeah. Or if there's a retreat you're at.
Yes.
You know, because you'll teach at Sonnets, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be teaching in Appleton, Wisconsin. Speaking of which, remind me, baby, I need to order paper.
Yeah. And
send it to Sonnet.
So it's not that Royce is opposed to teaching live. She's not afraid of people.
No.
It really is about, is it cost effective? And the one thing that I think it's fair to say, if I'm putting words in your mouth, you never want to overcharge people.
No.
Dorothy Lage, when you do an online course, can you also do in-person at the same time?
It's hard to do, Dorothy. I've done it before when I went to Tennessee for Jazzing Up the Junk. We did it. It's hard as an instructor to give attention to both the camera and to the students. It's not impossible. Dorothy got to sit in on a class. Dorothy, you know, I never did do anything with that class. When Jacob and them filmed the class for me, the furniture painting class. And so I had people present just so my energy would be like right. And so poor Dorothy. Dorothy, I feel like you've been with me forever. And so I don't know why I assumed Dorothy had painted furniture before. And so we're in the class and she's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. She's like, I'm going back to my art, because this is just too much. But of course, she did blending and she did, I think we did molds and she did transfers and stencils. We did all the things. I really need to do something with that because, I mean, it's there. We finished it. I just never sold it.
Kelly Morgan, Royce, would you have the capability to cut a sheet of copper to use for the art, or you utilize scraps and pieces you already have?
I do have some copper. I don't know, because I'm going to be using, I don't know how many of you guys have seen my paper mache pieces that I do. They're pretty big, so I could integrate copper, but for me, the part that like really energizes me is the idea of being able to create it using like my supplies that I have. So I'm going to be more jazzed up about creating faux copper than about using real copper, because we have copper around here. There's plenty of copper, and I could build a piece and cover it with copper and that will be fine. But if I can like create a realistic finish using paint, like that really jazzes me up.
Jennifer Lambert, that's fair for sure. It's just Arizona is so beautiful in the winter months here, but I get it. Jennifer, we're in Arizona.
Yes, we're just in southern Arizona.
Yeah, we're just a couple hours to the east of you. Not a couple, but...
Where is she, in Tucson?
She's in the Phoenix area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yes, we don't disagree. That's why the retreat is going to be here in April.
In April, yes.
Yeah. Unique Infusions came in. She's new and hit the like button on the way in. Thank you.
So you guys see I'm just stippling this paint. So I've added some salt wash to my paint, roughly 50-50. I like for my salt wash to be the consistency of like, I don't know, a little thicker than drop biscuits is what I have tonight. So that when I stipple, I get a lot of texture. And I'm using a smaller brush just to give me a little bit more control tonight rather than the larger one. I don't want to completely hide my teeth. And so I'm being a little, not precious, but you know, just a little more cautious around the edge of my teeth. Because I just want to cover the edge of that. I don't necessarily have to cover the edge of the paper because I'm not necessarily trying to disguise that edge.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Dorothy said she had so much fun at that, what you were talking about, that filmed.
Yes.
And Damar was so young, I forgot I had Damar that day.
Yeah, that's right. Because we had, well, I think Dom brought him for something.
Remember Destiny was working.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then she came at the end of her shift.
And came and got him.
But I was, Grandpa was babysitting. Yeah, Flea says online and in person at the same time is hard. She's enrolled in a hybrid drawing class. It's almost impossible to follow online.
Yeah, because you're having to pay attention to both the audience and the camera, and it really is distinctly different. And we tried it with Jazzing Up the Junk, and it wasn't optimum.
Karen Smith Macy, what product did you add to the paint?
I'm sorry, I'm not being, because you guys got me chit-chatting. I'm using salt wash, and it's a powder additive that I can use to thicken up my paints. There are other ones out there. I think Sea Spray is one of them, or something like that from Dixie Belle, and I know there are several different ones. I'm trying to kill the white, you guys. So I got white peeking through there, and I don't want that. So I'm just going in and kind of tapping over those spots. Although I guess There's some light colors in the paper, so I don't have to. But you guys can see why I chose green as opposed to black. Normally I would do, the base of mine would be black. And another thing that you can do, so you see how my texture kind of stops here on the edge. I can cheat and bring some of that texture right over the paper. So it's kind of not as easy to detect where the edge is if there's texture other places. So you can put texture right over your paper as well.
Teresa Vitrino says, is there a reason why you didn't paint first? Why you did the paper first?
Because I needed to see exactly where my paper was gonna go. And it's gonna be easier. A lot of times when we're doing finishes like this, we want to disguise the edge of our decoupage too. I mean, you could do it over the top and it'd be really cool because you'd have that texture underneath there, right? You could do that, absolutely. This was just my option, I don't know. And when I was doing it, I was thinking about disguising these edges here of this paper. Not so much the gears as much as these
Kelly
edges
Morgan,
here.
are those gears from resin molds?
No, this is paper. So this is from the new Royce Together We Create decoupage paper, which I'll show in just a few minutes. I'll show you the whole sheet. So you guys, when I design this sheet, whenever I do any of my master boards, because that's essentially what this is, right? It's kind of an industrial master board. My goal is to create a paper that you can absolutely use the whole piece, right? You can use it and create something, but you also have pieces on the paper that you can cut out and use individually or independently. And so that was my goal with this design as well. So I'm going to show you guys the design. Let's get some paint down though, and then I'll pull out the paper for those of you who came in late so you guys can see the paper.
Karen Moyer said, felt bad for teachers through COVID. Half went some days, half went the other days, and kids were Zooming. She goes, she was watching with her grandkids one day a week, and she said it was amazing to watch them try and juggle that.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Teresa Vitrino, no, Lisa Vansel, dropped a class because she wasn't getting anything from that person, not you. It wasn't a Royce class.
Thanks for the clarification.
But yeah, it's, what do you do? Who do you pay attention to when somebody asks, your questions? So it's not that Royce doesn't want to teach in person. We had talked about it right before. Matter of fact, it was going to happen right before COVID.
Yeah.
At a wine tasting room.
Oh yeah, in Wilcox. I had it scheduled and everything for March.
I still think that would be cool.
I do too, but my life has changed a lot now, baby.
Yeah.
With the warehouse and the membership, I just don't know if I would have the bandwidth. And the auction too.
Yep.
Lord. You guys see how I'm able to like kind of squish my brush when I'm going into these little tight areas? So I can have control over where I'm depositing my color. I think I'm gonna stand up because I'm sitting down and this is hard. I think it'll be easier for you guys to see what I'm doing if I get off my arse.
Lisa Vansel. Oh, because Lisa did say, I do deserve Royce standards in my paid class. And now people are demanding Royce standards.
Royce standards. I really try because I really want everybody, and part of it, you guys, is because of the way I learn. And I think I attract people whose minds work like mine. So if I said to you, when you're doing this project, make sure you start off with green. I know that people whose mind work like mine, the first thing they're going to want to know is why, right? And so that's how I teach, is I try to teach all the things, like why. Who, what, why, where, when. And I believe that that's what my people appreciate about my classes.
Well, Cindy Crowder, I've yet to go into Tucson to check out the papers that Tucson Junksters have in their booth. Yeah. You got to go.
And Tammy, I know she was one of the ones who just ordered the new designs too. So she'll have some soon because they're right around the corner. And I will be going to the post office in the morning, so. And you guys, the piece of paper right there wasn't tacked down, so I just went right under it with some decoupage medium before going over it with my paint. And you guys will see, like, I didn't put a ton of paint in there, but it was plenty. I still have some left over. And I'm just going back in those areas where there's a lot of white, and adding some more green. And I'm going to end up putting more white, but I'm going to do it my way. Look. Because this does have a lot of light, right? In there. But you see how having the deckled edges and even the edges where I fussy cut made it a lot easier to make this look like it was not just paper that's stuck on here, but that it's integrated. And I'm going to go over this edge as well. Well, it's kind of good we have this up here. So I'm going to go up here. We'll cover up this. I'm going to have to come in with more of a rust color here, but I'll start with the green.
Where is Tucson Junksters? They're in that antique mall, right?
Yeah, they're in, they're in the one antique mall that's by itself. They're not by the one where there's like 3 of them right by each other.
Not on Speedway.
No, they're not at the ones on Speedway. It's the other one.
There's a street called Speedway. It's not an actual Speedway. That's where there's a ton of antique stores.
Yeah.
Not good junk stores, antique stores.
Yes.
I want to stress that.
Oh, look, there's green drips right here. So this green over here actually makes
Teresa
sense.
says, do you see the rip in the paper on the gear?
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I flew too close to the moon. It's okay, because I'm going to end up going over this with some glaze. And so we're going to tone down that white, and that's not going to be super noticeable. Okay, so I'm going to dry this, you guys.
Oh,
and then
Cindy
we'll
says
move
the
on
22nd
to the next.
Antique Mini Mall.
Thank you. Yes.
Is that on
22nd?
22nd? Okay, yeah. Because I just never remember. That's the one before Broadway, right? Is 22nd?
Yes.
Major east-west street.
So I'm just drying, you guys. There's nothing to see here. I'm just drying. And then I do want to go over a little bit, babe, because I'd like to finish. And you guys can give me...
You're at 6:23.
Am I at 6:23? Are we going to have to finish this next week? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying you're at 6:23.
Okay.
How much more you got to go?
Well, I need to dry brush some colors on top of this. Let's do this. We'll let this one dry, and we'll work on the lid. I don't have a ton to go, but I'm not almost done either. Does that make sense? We have this piece right here, so let's just use this piece. And I feel like we have a lot of gears here, so it would make sense that this piece would start, this piece with a lot of gears would start right here. But I am going to decal this edge. And you guys will notice if you have a paper that has a lot of pigments, like this one does, that the paper will kind of, the water will kind of bead a little bit. You just have to wait a little bit and it'll eventually soak into the paper. It just doesn't happen as readily as it does with the light papers, but it will happen. Or you can do it on the back side too. It's another approach. But I want to see exactly where I'm drawing my line. Let's do that like this.
All right. Well, if you're going a little longer, I need to abandon you for a minute.
Are you abandoning me? What?
For a minute.
I'll be back. Okay. So that'll make these easier. And what happens is if you leave a straight edge, it's super easy for the eye to see that straight edge. And it's just harder to follow like a really organic edge is why, especially if you're trying to blend your paper, that this is a better option. And I'm not gonna need all of this paper. And so I'm gonna trim this a little bit closer. So what happens is, if I were to start decoupaging, right? This paper I would be wetting and all this paper here would stay dry. And so I would end up with this weird tension because this paper that's dry is going to be pulling on this paper that's wet as it stretches. And so that's why I like to trim my paper a little bit closer, leaving like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch on either side, just in case, you know, I make a mistake or something. But pretty much that's what I like. Ooh, that's gonna land perfect right there. And so I'm just gonna go around and score the paper with my finger so that I know exactly where I need to trim. And it doesn't matter that this is going to be a straight edge because I'm going to be trimming this off anyways. And when I design these papers, you guys will notice that on the box we have like really large gears, but we also have medium-sized gears and all the way down to these really tiny gears. So you guys really have a lot of options for your projects as far as being able to cut out different pieces to build different designs. Oh, thank you, Sheila. So, and I'm gonna have to blend this edge too. So we may add some paint, we'll see what happens. But let's start right here with all these gears. Oh wow, how fortuitous is that? Look at this. So this piece and this piece, they don't match up perfectly, but they match up enough that it's gonna look really good. You guys see that? Nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and anchor that down because I really want that piece to be right there. So I missed my paper, and the reason I'm misting my paper is so that my paper fibers can stretch out, so that when they come in contact with my decoupage medium, they don't respond, and so I don't get more wrinkles, right? And I'm sorry if I'm not answering questions, but David will be back. Let's see, did I get that right? It's close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now that I have it anchored, I can go ahead and move on to the rest. I wasn't sure if I was gonna paint this edge or if I was gonna decoupage it. I may end up doing a combination. David really did leave me, didn't he, y'all? And so I'm able to see some comments, but a weird thing happens. The system starts like showing me old comments, and they bounce around. It's really weird. And when you guys are using the misting method, you may find that you need to use a little more medium than you did in the past, just because the paper is already kind of full of water, so it doesn't absorb the decoupage medium as readily. So just, you don't want to pull it on your surface, but you may find that you need to use a little bit more than you did before. And Terry from Terry Kleiss did a project with this paper. It was so fabulous. It was a trunk, an old trunk, and she colored. I think she did 2 projects actually, and it is so beautiful. I think the green on here is just stunning. So before I move on, I am going to dry this.
So I have to say this, I'm back. I'm back and better than ever.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. Ari Sanchez says, hi.
Hey,
hi.
Ari Nana.
Hi. I was away, Ari. I'm sorry.
Well, because you know what happens to me? It just starts like populating like old one. Yeah, yep. It's really weird.
Gert Gorenzer says, love this paper. Can't wait to get started on my project. By the way, I went to the restroom, people. Sorry.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Lisa Van Sil, retailers, if you're out there, I need a place to order. Help a girl out.
Help a sister out. If you are a Roycycled retailer, please put a link to where customers can find Roycycled decoupage papers on your site.
Lisa Van Sil, now I need to go find a hat box.
Right?
Kelly Morgan, when is the next show in Whatnot?
Friday. So Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time will be the next show. I've already started pulling out stuff. I kind of discovered stuff at the end of my, look you guys, shopping my own stuff has been so fun. But I didn't have enough time to get it in the last show. So we already have stuff. And I've started putting like low ticket items in my buy now section. So after you buy a couple of things, the system will bundle your shipping. So after a while, you know, after you order like 2 or 3 things, it gets to the point where anything additional you buy will be free shipping. And so then you can go look in my buy now section, and it's just small items. There's music sheets I had from an old hymnal in there last week. I had some new stock of buttons, new old stock. So they're really fabulous buttons that are still on their original cards. And I don't know what I'm gonna have this week, but I'll have something. I'll have stuff.
Lisa Vansel says, welcome back, David. It was touch and go there for a minute. But the plane landed.
The plane landed. I thought you said that's not news, baby.
It isn't, yes.
If the plane lands.
The plane landed safely. I had, my first editor taught me that. Sent me out to the airport because there was a plane in distress. I came back all ready to write it up. And he said, so what happened? I said, they managed to get it down. He goes, any damage? Nope. He goes, it's not news.
It's not a story if there was no...
The plane landed is not news. Lisa Vansel, Royce, did you keep one of those red books? You held up 3, but the table showed 4.
There were only 3. Flea got all 3. So anybody who ordered off the What Night auction, your stuff will be shipping out mañana. That'll be George and I's morning.
Kathleen Hoovis suggests doing the inside too to finish it off.
Oh, girl. You were asking a lot of me, Kathleen. We'll see. I might paint it, but I don't know if I'm going to decoupage it. I cannot tell a lie. See, this is what happens. So people always ask me like why I don't sell my stuff. It's because I'm terrible about finishing. Like if I were to sell this, I'd have to at least paint the inside, right? I'm gonna trim this down. Again, I don't wanna fight with all that paper. So I'm gonna trim this down real quick. Not trimming it perfect, just close to perfect.
Kelly Morgan, you got her hooked on watching Whatnots. I need to get a scale, then I will try selling. Very good.
Oh, if you want to sell, let me know because I have a link for you to use. Honestly, I will get a commission when you use my link, but you know, if you're interested in selling, please let me know. I'll give you a link.
Beth Ray says she's also gotten a little addicted.
You know, it's nice because there are people who have stuff that would be hard to pick. One of the things, we were having a call for one of my classes, and one of the ladies was saying, you know, she can't believe the junk that people buy. But I was reminding her that we take for granted. Like I have guys who will be like, hey Royce, I found ABC, are you interested, right? So I have people who will pick for me because I've been picking for so long, and I've have collections of things. And for the average person who's not picking like that, they don't have that. And so it's junk, but at the same time, it really affords you the opportunity to buy stuff that probably would take you years to acquire otherwise, if that makes sense.
We have a question. Is there a list of retailers on the website?
There are. If you go to roycycle.com, if you look on the top, you'll see retailers. If you click there, you'll see a list of retailers, and they're organized by state. And I am working on my website, but it's another thing. Because we have a new directory.
Oh,
we have
I
an
was going to
easier
ask.
directory.
Somebody asked, is there a list of retailers on the website?
Yeah, that's what I just told them, babe.
Yeah.
So there is a list of retailers on the website. My directory is not the greatest, I guess is what I was getting at, but we're working on improving it and getting the new one up soon. And so you guys see, like, I mean, you can see that, but it's a lot less, it's harder to detect because it's not just a straight line. And having the gears there really helps. Now here is gonna be a little bit more noticeable because the color is different, but I'm gonna go in and stipple some paint there too to kind of camouflage that edge. And so your paper doesn't have to cover everything. You can absolutely blend it in. Texture is the easiest way because the texture covers like the ¿cómo se dice? Kind of the profile of the paper, right? Because even tissue paper, if you just put it flat, you can kind of see where the tissue paper starts and ends. And so using the texture really covers up that profile beautifully. Although I'm not going to use texture on this one. I'm probably just going to go in with the glaze will be enough, because once that white is gone, you won't be able to tell at all where that is. Oh, I said I was going to show the paper, didn't I? Let's do that really quickly. I think I have another sheet.
Flea says, are you using your dryer hook?
I am, Flea. I finally put a dryer hook on my table, girl. And so I am using it. Except for the last time I did not. I have to get used to having it. So this is the paper that we're using. Together We Create. And you can see like you can absolutely use this all together on a piece of furniture or a larger piece of home decor, or even a sign would be really cool. But you also have like all these yummy bits that you can cut and that you can use individually if you're making a smaller project. And so in this piece, I actually used to help create the texture, I painted some of that, which was really fun. It's one of the first pieces I made in my little art journal that ended up making it into this project because of the texture primarily, not the color. Should we go back here? Let's sit this one down and let it dry and go back to the Lord have mercy. I guess my hook is a better option than my leg because it keeps falling off my leg. Let's go back to our box and look at it, because I think we're dry enough. The one thing about salt wash is that it does make your paint dry faster, which is cool. So this is like, it's not completely dry, but I think it's dry enough for us to go in with some dry brush. So when I'm looking at like this piece right here, I'm seeing some deeper colors. It's not really black, but it's a really deep green. I'm seeing some lighter colors, white. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'll start with the white first, and we'll dry brush some white in here. And then we'll go over and dry brush some of the darker green as well.
Oh, Karen Macy says, send me the link to Whatnot.
Yes, I will. You know what? If you guys message me, please, and I will send you that link.
Beth Ray, I'm not able to hunt for for vintage stuff so much, so Whatnot is perfect. I don't have to walk all over a huge antique mall and not find anything.
And the prices are generally really good on Whatnot, right? I mean, I'm sure there's some sellers who are selling like high price items, but generally you find really good deals on Whatnot. So I am using an oval brush. Whenever I'm dry brushing, the oval brush is my favorite. I feel like when I use a square brush, I'm more likely to get like square, how do I say? I'm more likely to end up with like really square edges that makes it more noticeable. Whereas the oval brush, I'm able to get more organic shapes with my dry brushing, which makes it look more integrated because you don't see any edges. I hope that makes sense. And I'm gonna stand up again because actually that made it really easy. So that's the tear that I have that somebody was talking about earlier, but it's gonna be okay. I finally ordered some more paint, you guys, because my paint is in just, it's a sad state of affairs over here. I wish I had a smaller brush. So whenever I'm trying to emulate, I kind of look at what's there and try to imitate those marks some. And so this is super organic. It's going to be hard for me to do that, but I think that if I go in with splotchy, instead of trying to go in with like a perfectly dry brush, I'm actually going to deposit a little bit more paint in areas because I think that's going to get closer to what, so what do I mean by that? Rather than trying to get a perfect dry brush, I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually deposit like shapes of paint like this. And I'll still go back in and do some dry brushing, but I feel like this is going to get me closer to what's already there.
Unique infusions. I'm learning a lot here tonight, but I typically work with epoxy resin. Do you craft with that?
I do not use epoxy as much as I use, usually if I'm using resin, I'm using the quick cure resin, not like the 12-hour epoxy. But I do, like if I had molds, which I don't know if I said I was going to add some would you bin molds. But if you wanted to make like some epoxy molds with resin, that would be cool, right? It'd be really easy to add those to this. But you guys see how this dry brush is like really wispy versus how I deposited the color here. And I'm still going to do this though, because when I go over with my wash, I'm going to be able to imitate this right here where it's just a light green and it's not really white. But you see there's a lot of white underneath that kind of a wash that we have here. So a lot of times when you're building a textured finish, it's layers and layers and layers. Like you're not going to be able to accomplish it in one layer.
Shannon Booth says, what if you use a sponge?
You could use a sponge, Shannon. That's a good idea.
I'm curious, since Ari is watching right now, is our granddaughter screaming because Grandpa's talking?
Because she hears your voice and she doesn't see you. She wants to know what is going on.
So apparently our granddaughter loses her mind if they're watching on their TV and just hears Grandpa's voice. But now I talk to her differently than I'm talking right now.
That's because you're talking like baby talk when you're talking to her.
She's a pretty girl.
She is. She's beautiful.
Okay. Unique Infusion says that's exciting. Just got a new sub.
Oh,
so
thank you
for subscribing. And Avo from Twisted Sisters Creations
Avo.
just jumped on.
Your order, I packed your order today too. I got your email about the missing paper, But I didn't get it until after I packed your order, so I apologize. I'll probably just reimburse you for that one sheet, Avo. I apologize. I know it seems like a lot of white, but you guys see how I love dry brushing because I'm able to deposit this color, but you can still see the color that's underneath there. So for the black or the darker color, you guys can see how it's deposited right in these really organic looking shapes. I'm gonna go in with a brush to try to imitate that. And it's not really black, it's a really dark green.
So Chris Schmidt says the 7 and a few of the gears would look fabulous with some metallic copper highlights on them.
Ooh, that would be good. It's so fun building up layers, and this is the fun thing about what we do, because we can all start off with the exact same products and still end up with completely different results because we all see different opportunities when we're creating. And whether you know it or not, if you're creating on a regular basis, you already have an artistic voice. And it comes through in your work. So I'm mixing my black with my green so I can get a deep green. Although I think I put too much green, we'll see. The thing about color is, when you have a color that's super dark, it affects the other colors so fast, more than you think. And I don't know, let me think for a minute. So what's happening here is the black is making my green darker, but it's also making it duller. You guys see how this green is really neutral compared to like how bright this green is? And so I'm gonna try putting in another color that's really dark. For those of you in my Crafting with Color class, you guys know we're looking for something that has, it just left my mind just that fast. I know you guys will tell me though.
Oh, Aries says she's not paying attention. She's because Aries watching on the tablet.
Oh.
But yeah, you got a house full right now.
So I'm gonna go in with some really dark blue and see if I can deepen this. Oh, it's gonna be hard though, because I don't want a teal. I want it to be green. So the yellow, oh. So what I'm doing, you guys, so when you're trying to shift your colors, you're thinking about the value or the lightness or darkness of the color. You're also thinking about like the chroma or like how bright the color is versus how neutral it is. And so I think the thing that a lot of us struggle with when we're trying to get a color is that you have to kind of make those shifts all at once. And so I don't think I would have gotten to the color that I wanted with just a black. And adding the blue is just going to add a little bit more chroma or a little bit more brightness to that green. But I don't want it to be teal either.
Lisa Vansell did not trust layers initially, but got the grasp after taking your patina course.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, you gotta trust the process, right? And I'm just gonna lay down like random shapes. Using this color. It's so hard to be random, right? Because our brains want to balance everything. And inside of my my class, we go over, like literally, I am just using one way to create texture today. There are so many other ways that you can create texture, and we talk about a lot of them inside of my texture masterclass. Did you hear that?
I did. Some apparently celebrating the end of the rain.
Oh, is that what that was? It sounded like it was like a bump on the door.
No, that sounds like a firework.
Oh, okay.
You are at 650.
Okay, baby.
Oh, Treasure Simone. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Found the QR code last night, registered for the event in April.
Oh, thank you.
And Sharon Valencia joined on to watch.
Hey, Sharon, how are you? We still need to go to lunch, Sharon. I know I keep saying that, but for real, you need to call me and harass me because I won't remember.
All right. Ari said, yes, we have a full house. Baby and I are in the room enjoying some peace. I think all the different sounds her brother makes drives her crazy sometimes. Yes, he does. He is a loud young man. Lisa Vansel, it's almost like you're creating a new paper. So now it's an original paper, if that makes sense.
Now this is an original paper.
Well,
I think I just love the challenge of like matching finishes. So in the course, the live course, I really didn't get to do exactly what I wanted because I did want to be able to like pick a finish and then like have us challenge to be able to create that exact finish. But in my brain, that's what I want to do. And of course, you guys know I love a good halo. So I'm adding this darker color to the top and the bottom of this to kind of create that. But you guys see how I'm able to dry brush and still maintain the green underneath. So I'm gonna do a glaze really quickly. But first, so one of the tricks when you're layering is if I were to go in here and do a glaze over this, what would happen is all the salt wash is like super absorbent. The chalk style paint is really absorbent. So it would suck up the color really fast and I wouldn't get that transparency or translucency that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna seal this really quickly. We're gonna dry it and then we'll do the wash, baby, and then we'll be done, okay?
Ari wants to know what's for dinner.
Oh, Lord, girl. Oh, actually, David's cooking some hamburger helper, and I'm very happy about it.
I was going to say, I'm not cooking. It's out of a box.
I will take it, Daddy. I'm hungry as we speak. I ate this morning, though, but I didn't get to eat anything this afternoon because we were packing boxes. Me and Stephanie were working. You know what I find, you guys? When I'm live, sometimes it's harder when I'm live because I can't just get lost in the work, right? I have to be cognizant with you guys and talk to you guys and kind of instruct, which can be a challenge sometimes. But sometimes, because you guys make me move fast, I don't have time to think about what I'm doing. And so I'm working out of my right brain and just kind of feeling my way through. And sometimes that's the benefit. It's just interesting to me how our brains work. And I want to go in. You guys see that warm streak in there, but I'm not because we're running out of time. So I am gonna seal this really quickly, babe. And I just want to do the wash so they can kind of see how it unifies everything. And if you're working on a project, let's say you picked two colors that you thought were going to be really harmonious, and then you get them on your project or your piece and your colors are like fighting each other, right? You don't have that harmony that you're looking for. You don't have to start all over again. You can usually address that by doing either a wash or a glaze over the top of your piece. And what it'll do is it'll create a harmonious tone in your colors, which can go a long way to making them look more harmonious, like they go together. So if you're working on several colors that are really warm, you could do like a warm glaze with like a warm brown color over the whole thing, and it'll harmonize your finish. In our case, I'm going to make a green wash or a green glaze to go over this, just because of the way that the color is on the paper.
Let's see. Yolanda says, is there a vendor list that can show who got the new releases?
No, unfortunately, we don't have that kind of technology for me to know that.
And it's up to each vendor.
Yeah, but honestly, most people should have the paper by now. And if you guys are a recycled retailer and you're on, you guys can let Yolanda know, you know what I'm saying, if you have it or if it's on the way. Because I have about, I don't know, I have a bunch of packages in the back of my car that will be going to the post office first thing in the morning. So some of the retailers have sold out already is what happened too. Is when we made the release, a lot of them sold out Monday on the release day. So they're waiting for restocks.
And Ari wants to do dinner another time when Dom is off, and then ice cream.
And then ice cream. I know, did you guys have fun last night? Because they went walking up the street, remember when we left?
Yeah.
So we had a cruising Main event here. I don't know how many of you guys have been cruising down Main Street? I'm just curious, because I think that's on a small town thing.
Dom wants to try Nana's Kitchen.
Oh, okay.
I think he's off tomorrow night, right?
I think so. Yes, because he's on his 7 days.
Oh wait, that's the wrong date. I have Thatcher Town Council though.
Oh, tomorrow? What about the next night?
ACF Grand Celebration.
Lord have mercy. What about the next night?
That's Wednesday, and I think he's back to work.
Oh, I think he goes back Thursday, right?
I don't think so. I think he goes to midnight, doesn't he?
Well, maybe we can go to Nana's, and since, I mean, you know.
So.
I mean, it'd be nice if you were with us.
Oh, I didn't realize today's the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh.
Happy Hispanic Heritage, everybody. Let me see what's on the agenda.
Okay,
there's nothing on the agenda. I won't go.
I'm going to shoot this really quickly. I'm going to be careful with my words, huh? Facebook be done turn me off. I am just going to blow this really, well, that's not good either. I'm going to dry this really quickly. You guys, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The way I have that green there, and then you have that green dripping down. So if you guys are looking for a color, this doesn't happen very often, by the way. Usually you have to tweak the colors and match your paper, but Botanical by Wise Owl, this is just pure paint. I didn't do anything to shift this color, and look how close it is. So Botanical by Wise Owl is a really good choice to use with this particular paper.
All right, there's no agenda listed, and it has to be up 24 hours in advance. So I'm going to say I'm making an executive call.
Are you making an executive decision, baby?
I am right now. I'm going to say I'm not going to Thatcher Council. So if they want to go to, if you guys want to go to dinner tomorrow,
okay, we can go to Nana's.
We can go to Nana's because I like Nana's. Karen Macy, yes, we would cruise Main Street back in Georgia. Lisa Vansel wants to come for dinner. Ari, we were just going to walk to the end of the street and come back, but you guys were leaving. Well, we said goodbye.
Yeah, we said bye.
We thought you guys just wanted to walk off all the ice cream, so.
We didn't want to get stuck because cruising had just started, so we didn't want to be stuck on Main Street. We were trying to get out.
Yep, and Unique Infusion says that's time for tonight. It's been fun.
Thank you.
So very good. We're glad you joined us.
I know it looks crazy still, you guys, but I promise it's going to look less crazy in a few minutes. And I'm probably going to go with some brown glaze over that right there.
So always in a good excuse to see both of the grandkids. It's awful. We don't even talk about seeing our son and daughter-in-law.
We see them.
I know, but we don't talk about it. It's, oh, we get to see the kids. Oh, well, we'll just bring it by. We'll come over by you. It's an excuse to just see the grandkids.
We're more thoughtful than people. I remember how when I had Dominique, and, you know, I had a male doctor who did not think it was necessary to give me an episiotomy. So I was torn from A to Z. Let's just say I was walking really, 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 really slow. They scoop up Dominique. They're like in the house. Don't nobody care about me. Don't nobody care.
Well, you had one of those little donuts, didn't you? That's
I'm
all
just
you
saying,
need.
I'm like coming from the
I'm just
hospital.
joking. I'm not saying that's all you need.
And they take the baby seat. They got the baby in the house, and I'm like making my way to the house. Do you think anybody was concerned about me? No, they were not. No concern.
And Teresa Vitrino, he wants to go to Mama's Kitchen. He probably does, because he and I fight over Royce's fried chicken.
I
Because
know.
it is absolutely the best.
But that's work.
And he really, really wants that. And I love getting it, and he doesn't. So, but no, it's a place called Nana's Kitchen. It's a restaurant that just opened in our downtown. And they're really, really good.
They are really good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a mess here on my table. I'm just going to pour a little bit of clear coat right here. And I'm just going to mix a little bit of this green in to this clear coat. And so I'm just going to, I'm making like my own glaze. You can do this with wax too, you guys. So if you prefer like a wax, actually that would be really nice. You can do this with the wax too. And I really do want it to be transparent. I want to be able to see through the glaze to what I've done on the bottom. And so I'm adding quite a bit of clear coat to this. And this is going to help to unify all these different things that I've done. And hopefully it'll emulate the look of... It could be a little bit more transparent, but it's okay. This is a dry brush, and I'm just using it so I can maintain some of the white. I'm sorry we're late, babe. I really do want to finish this. So I don't want to cover the white, right? I just want to like color it a little bit. Actually, I'll leave that just the way it is. And if I had forgotten to seal this first, what would have happened is all of this texture would have just absorbed all of the pigment out of this, and there wouldn't be any layers. You wouldn't be able to see through it. It would just all be green. So when you're building up your layers, you really do want them to stand alone. It's important that you seal in between. And I know I'm moving really quickly through this, but if you guys want to take a look at the Texture Masterclass, I go through everything step by step by step. And I do demos for every single thing. I think we did like, I don't even know how many demos we completed for that class, but it was a lot. Because I had a lot of demo boards after that class because there was so much. Because there's just so many opportunities when you're working with texture. And I'm not doing any drips tonight, but we even go over that in the course. And I think that's it. What do you guys think? Am I close? I think I could work on my shapes a little bit. I'll probably go in with a dry brush to kind of make those look a little bit more organic than they look, but I think if I keep going right now, I'm not going to be able to get there. This spot here is probably the closest that we are. I'm probably going to go back in after this dries and do some dry brushing over this just to kind of get rid of the edges a little bit and maybe bring in a little bit more white. But that is going to be my piece essentially for tonight. And then, of course, I still have to trim the top and add a little bit of paint. I'm probably going to go with some glaze on the top a little bit. But that's it. A little bit of patina. I think maybe I don't know. Should I bring some to this side? Here, let me put you guys on this camera. I'm actually really happy with this. And so that's my grungy industrial hat box that we were able to create with just paint and decoupage paper. And of course, I still have to trim the lid, but I do like the way it's gonna, you see how I have a ton of gears there and a ton of gears at the top. So that turned out really beautifully. And we have brick here on this side and we have brick on the top. And I just love all of these numbers that I was able to integrate into this design, like this one right here. And they all have like a metal texture to them. It's visual texture, but it's there. So I think that's it, babe, unless you can think of anything else. Were there any questions? Because I went through a lot of stuff really fast.
Well, not any, no.
No? No paint questions?
Nope.
Are you over there buying?
No, I'm deleting a gazillion comments. So we had a major accident in our area this morning, or yesterday. And so I wrote that story this morning.
Yeah.
And put it up. And I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Just all these garbage accounts with the exact same thing whenever it's, and I hate to say this, so...
Did you block those?
I do. I always do. But they just create new accounts.
I know.
And there's certain words, if it appears, these things happen. One of which is killed. Because we had a few people that were killed in an accident today. Or yesterday. And they just flood.
I'm just trimming this, you guys, if you want to know.
And it's not just us. I've seen the Tucson news stations get it. I've seen the Phoenix
So they're
news.
bots.
They are. And I'm just trying to clean it out.
Okay.
But I report everyone too. Facebook doesn't do a thing. It's just irritating.
I'm sorry.
Because I don't want anybody to have their worst.
To be taken advantage of.
Yeah, their computer, taken over or anything.
Yeah. I know I'm super picky with my group. So I don't know if you guys are part of it. If you guys want to share your work, I do have a group on Facebook. It's Recycled Upcycling with Decoupage. I know people are fresh at me because I don't approve people right away, but I go through and vet every single person. And I'm not saying that I have like perfect, because sometimes, stinkers do get in, usually because they've hijacked a regular account. But I'm just like super careful about that too, because I don't want people in the comments, trying to scam my people, or people posting stuff like Taylor Swift tickets available or something kooky like that.
That's going hard on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
So
can you look at and make sure we don't have any questions that are outlined?
Yeah, I'm looking. There's nobody here. Everybody's saying go enjoy your dinner.
Okay.
Avo said they're having hamburger helper as well. Their granddaughter's making it.
Ooh, nice.
So,
Chili mac was like my, that's what I was, that was my dish when I was a teenage cook, was chili mac. But, so, I don't know. I'm super cute. I'll show you guys a picture of this box after everything dries and I'm done fiddling with it. And I am not going to sit in here and make another video.
I was going to say, you can do anything to the interior. That was a question earlier.
I know. And I've been talking about finishing things, so we'll see what happens. We'll see. Maybe I'll probably just paint it, though. I'm not going to decoupage the interior. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Because it really doesn't fit with the exterior.
I know. I can just paint it black, though.
I know.
Or paint it this really pretty green. That would work, too. But I am not going to decoupage the inside of it. That's just too much work. A little too much. I'm trying to think if we had anything. So you guys message me if you guys want the link to Whatnot. I will get you that. And if you are brand new to Whatnot, you'll get $15 to spend. Make sure that you put your phone number when they have you. They'll want to text you to verify your phone number. So make sure you go through that process to get the $15. And then when you if you want to be able to bid, you have to put a payment method on your account. So make sure you do that. And we've had a couple of people that try to join us from their like computers, and they don't have as much success. So if you want to bid, if you just want to come hang out, you can do that. But if you want to bid, you'll want to use your phone and or your tablet. Although I haven't come on my tablet, and use the app.
I've looked at it on my desktop at work. Just to kind of
you can see it, but
yeah,
like, I've even tried to do the buy now and it won't let me.
Yeah.
From my tablet. So I'm just going and adding a little glaze around my edges that were a little white from being sanded.
I say paint the interior, sell it on Whatnot on Friday.
He just wants me to work, yeah. He's work, Royce.
I'm just saying, I think you could sell it, and the bottom too. You got to paint the bottom. Paint it black. Do like the Rolling Stones. Just paint it black.
I think if I'm gonna paint it, I should paint it green.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Flea says we watch on the computer, bid using the phone.
Yeah. I'm glad you got your books. I'm glad you said something because I was going to put them books back in my stash.
That was the only thing that didn't get bid on because Flea was having trouble bidding.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. So.
Okay.
All right. I think so.
That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. If you are new, we are here every Sunday night. Well, most Sunday nights. We have 2 upcoming that we won't be here. At 7 p.m. At 5 p.m. Pacific time. We will not be here. When's Salsa Fest?
27th.
So the weekend of the 27th.
Here, I'll
we
tell
will
you
not
exactly.
be here.
So, so there'll be no Whatnot on the 27th. No live here on the 29th.
Because we will be worn out.
And there will be no Whatnot on the 4th of October. And there will be no live here on the 6th.
Nope, because we will be in...
Traveling.
We'll be traveling. Oh, we'll be coming back from Appleton. Yeah.
Yep, on the 6th.
On the 6th.
So, but there will be a Whatnot this Friday. And there will be a live here on the 22nd.
Yes.
So you got
Lord willing.
Yeah.
There will be a live here on the 22nd. But I know I'm still working, y'all. I'm painting the inside of this. But
all right, I'm going to turn you off because I'm going to go start dinner.
Okay. I just want to say one thing before you go.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. You guys remember there isn't anything that I've done here today that you cannot absolutely do. You can do this. You can do it today. You guys have a blessed week, and we will